Hey everyone, welcome to today's video where today I'm going to be ranking every single video game that I've played on this channel. This is to celebrate 3 years on YouTube, which unfortunately I did plan on doing something bigger, but I've been incredibly busy and I'm probably going to be so until probably about June because of school and everything. So yeah, uploads are probably going to be a little slow until then, but I thought despite this I wanted to do something a little interesting for the 3 year, so I decided to do this. And if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing because it supports the channel and I'd be happy. Okay, let's get to this. Alright, so here are all the games ranging from the very first game that was showcased on the channel to the one I played on the latest live stream. This isn't everything, this is all minus like some of the less relevant and less good Roblox games I've played, so you'd probably see all but one of the games in the Security Breach ripoffs, and also among other games that I kind of just glossed over. So other than that, this is basically everything, so let's get a start. First off, we've got a good one, Minecraft. And of any game ever, I think Minecraft is the one that I've held on to the longest. I haven't really recently because, well, obvious reasons, but I held interest with Minecraft for about 8 years, which is more than FNAF or anything else. While yes, I've lost interest in Minecraft in recent, it's never not going to be a title that I don't have value with, because the game literally just was my childhood, and even on my latest Theme Park Tycoon 2 project, which is a game that I commonly play, which is a game on this list, I was feeling the nostalgia and almost like peace of building something related to Minecraft again in Theme Park Tycoon 2, which should tell you that I still really love Minecraft. Haven't played it in a second, but I do have the nostalgia with Minecraft. But Minecraft overall as a game is definitely gonna rank as an incredible game, because it's basically just a limitless game and is like filled with creative potential and that's if you're playing creative mode, and in survival you've got a full game that's like simple and just an adventure, and it's truly excellent, the game. Yeah, Minecraft is just a truly remarkable game and very deserving of the S tier. Next up is Among Us. Yes, the meme game of the 2020s. And I gotta say, Among Us was definitely worthy of that hype because it was a simple, fun game that anyone can enjoy. My actual content on the game was definitely very bad because, well, my ideas weren't that like expansive or original, and they were also recorded on the mobile edition, which definitely caused a downgrade on quality. But other than that, on the channel I had a lot of fun playing the game, so I'm gonna call it a good game. Next up is Roblox, and this is ranking like Roblox as a platform also with like the average game that you'd find there. And yeah, no, it's not great. Yes, I am a Roblox player, that's because there's only one game that I actively play, which will be next on the ranking. But Roblox as a whole is meh because I mostly have a problem with like how the app is handled itself. Like what is going on like in the modern day of Roblox? Like, it's attempting to be a dating app and it's trying to advertise to older audiences, which is really bad for its like younger audience, which makes the whole thing really, really stupid. And like 80% of Roblox games are just weird, so, but there are definitely some diamonds in the rough, which a lot of those diamonds in the rough will be in this ranking, so I'm probably gonna rank it as it's okay, I guess. Next up, Theme Park Tycoon 2, and oh boy, this is definitely my favorite Roblox game, and as I mentioned prior, is the main Roblox game that I play consistently. If you don't know, Theme Park Tycoon 2, as pretty obvious, is basically a Roblox edition of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, or just any roller coaster building game, which I am very, very tempted to say that this is my favorite roller coaster building game. The only game that I'd see beating it would be No Limits 2, which I am yet to learn, and I do want to try out at some point. which on the surface it definitely does not seem like it would be that insane, especially if you have no game passes, because on the surface it's just a Roller Coaster Tycoon ripoff, which I totally understand because as the base game itself is like okay at best. I mean, it's impressive for Roblox standards, but it's alright. It's, even without game passes, it's still probably one of, if not the best tycoon game on Roblox. But despite that, it probably does not justify how I'm gonna rank it. So that's why you gotta buy a game pass, being the no collisions, because this seemingly normal game goes from this to this. The possibilities with this game are endless, and I'm gonna rank it over Minecraft. Yeah, I am. Hit in the comments if you want to, I don't care. It's gonna be above Minecraft. But while you're down there, maybe tell me what your favorite game on this list is. Commenting supports the channel. Alright, next up is a little bit of an oddball. It's Forza Horizon 3, which is an open world and realistic racing hybrid, which is definitely a lot of fun. Back when I played it, I simply just played it because I had the game, and it was kind of in preparation for Forza Horizon 5, which was going to release, I think, like 6 months from when I played it. Back when I did get the game, I was a sucker for Hot Wheels, and it had a Hot Wheels expansion, which even now I think is absolutely sick. But would I rank it as an incredible game? Probably not, but I'm going to put it at the top of a good game. Alright, next up is also another weird one. Not for being off topic with the channel, but just being not that much of a game. It's Vrchat. Vrchat is, well, what the name says. A game where you're in VR and you chat with people. While not being that much of a game, it does have games, and those games are pretty fun. And the game itself, Vrchat, has definitely made me some really fun videos, which I absolutely recommend you try watching. And be sure to like the video if you think I should try again and do another Vrchat video, because it has been since like 2022, so I'd like to make another one. So for Vrchat, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of a good game. Alright, next up is Scratch's Funland, which I just used the Scratch logo for it. So Scratch's Funland is a game that I actually made. A series of games where you're playing a Scratch game where you're in a theme park, it built in Scratch, and the malware virus from Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted takes over the game. In total, I made 2 games and showcased 3 of them. This was a game that I made around 2020, so it's been 3 years since I made the game, which is absolutely nuts. But unfortunately, I have to critique myself very hardly, and you guys would probably understand this ranking. I'm putting it in a bad game because the games were absolutely a janky mess because I had no clue how to do Scratch coding, and I was planning on doing like a remastered version of the game, which I have not touched since I made the announcement video, unfortunately. So I doubt that it's gonna happen. I might come back to it, but I'm not sure. Alright, next up is a game that I did not play on the channel, but my dad did. It is the Mimic Roblox game, which is the first Roblox horror game on this list of many. On this list, there are 2 games, including this one, where I'm not the one who played it and I just made my dad play it. Not because I was too afraid to play it, definitely not. Because I had already seen what happens, but I wanted to make content on it. So what I did, I just had my dad play it. So the Mimic itself, the game, I had definitely played with friends prior, like actually a while prior before I made the video. It's definitely a hell of a lot of fun. It's definitely a pretty traditional format for game. Yeah, it definitely had some pretty awesome jump scares in there, which is a lot of fun. But unfortunately, that's like most of the horror, which kind of sucks. But overall, it's just a very simple game, and I'm gonna put it at the bottom of a good game. Next up is Forza Horizon 5, which I'm just gonna make this easy, put it right above Forza Horizon 3 because it's literally like the same game. Because, well, it's a Forza game, and it's even similar to this as so much as having another Hot Wheels expansion, which that caught me by surprise. But yeah, since it's a very similar game, it's gonna rank in a very similar place, understandably. And next up is probably the most influential game for my channel, at least for a little bit, 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, which was definitely an absolute blast while I did play it, but definitely looking back at the game, it did kind of stink. But don't get me wrong, like, the visuals of the game are incredible, except that the actual gameplay and, like, the plot of the game kind of did suck. And I named this category while thinking about this game, had fun while playing it, so Security Breach is gonna go here. Next up is Sonic.EYX, which is in the video pranking my dad with Sonic.EYX. So, as expected, I did not play the game. Being that it is a Sonic.exe game, it's very, very simple, but it's definitely on the upper tier of that kind of game. Those being like very short, very simple games that aren't exactly trying to be a challenge. They're just trying to give you a little bit of a spook, which it does successfully. This is definitely one of the scarier Sonic.exe games. But since it is such a short experience, I'm probably going to put it at had fun while playing it, just above Security Breach. And now we move on to RO Scale's Central Railroad, which is a game that destroyed my channel. Not really, I'm still here, guys. What I mean is, like, this game caused a shift in the theme of my channel, which is something that I did not want. Because this video alone almost turned my channel into a model train channel, which, while model trains are cool, and I'm definitely going to be trying to build my own sets when I grow up, it's definitely not what I was wanting to do YouTube for. I was wanting to do more, like, horror games and things like that. But considering the game itself, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of had fun while playing it. Because beyond what was done in the actual video that I did, there really isn't much to the game, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish there was a little more. But other than that, it's a fun game. Alright, the next 4 games are definitely a part of the series of drought videos that was caused by the RO Scale raid, I'm gonna call it. So they may seem a little less relevant of games that I played, but we're gonna go to Fall Guys. Which you might think, why is Fall Guys so late? This would be July of 2022, which is like 2 years after Fall Guys was relevant. Reason being because I had a friend who absolutely loved Fall Guys, and I wanted to make a video with them playing Fall Guys, and I had an absolute blast while making that video. Fall Guys is definitely a very fun game, and definitely did not deserve to die so hard. So I'm probably gonna place it right about here, and I'd recommend checking out my Fall Guys video. It's a lot of fun. Next up is Apherophobia, which is a Roblox backrooms game. And boy, is it a really good Roblox backrooms game. Like, of the backrooms games, this is definitely among the best, like, of them all. Which is really surprising considering that it's Roblox. But I definitely had an absolute blast on this game. And I remember when I played it for the first time, I actually did surprisingly good. And I made 2 videos on this game. One, a secret video that you'll find at the end of the first one, and you'll see how far I lasted like without dying, which I was genuinely surprised. Like, I think I was playing for about 2 hours before I ended up dying, which, yeah, will definitely highlight how I play video games, because I don't play quick, I play very, very slow, as seen in FNAF Security Breach and a couple others on this list. I play video games slow, especially horror games with stakes, which definitely does allow me to finish the games with less deaths. But Apherophobia as a game, I'm probably gonna rank it. I'm gonna rank it above Fall Guys and below Forza. Next up is the infamous Rainbow Friends, and honestly, my video playing it was probably more infamous because my recording literally just stopped working in the middle of recording the game. You don't know this, but yeah, it just stopped working entirely in the middle of playing the game because I was using the crappy computer then, and that's basically when I announced that that my computer was crappy back then. So yeah, the recording on this video is really bad, and I don't really recommend you watch the video. But yeah, the game itself, I'm gonna rank slightly above Roblox because while being, yeah, like a Roblox game and many saying that it's annoying, it's like it's a little bit upper tier of a Roblox game. Now to a really good Roblox horror game, Doors. Doors is an incredible game because it's simple in concept, but incredibly well executed. It's also like one of the best looking Roblox games that I've seen, with like stellar lighting, and it just doesn't look like a Roblox game, which is really sick. And the gameplay itself is a lot of fun, and it's very replayable, which is really awesome. And another thing, I also did a recording of the April Fool's super hard mode, and the same guy who was with me on the Fall Guys video actually beat hard mode day 1, which was an incredible feat to watch. So yeah, Doors is an absolute blast, and I am tempted to put it at the bottom of S tier. Alright, next up is, I think, the only 5 minute... No, scratch that. I guess this one counts. The only 5 Nights at Freddy's fan game that's on this list, with being The Killer in Purple 2. This was definitely a fun game. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of a tycoon game based on building your own pizzeria and things like that, which is always fun because you get to customize and everything. Oh, my thing broke for a second. So yeah, Killer in Purple 2, definitely a really fun game. It definitely got a little slow playing the game after a little bit because yeah, it's just a fan game and there isn't really much value to the game, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put it at the top of had fun while playing it. Can I? Thank you. Alright, now we move on to Amanda the Adventurer, which is a proper mascot horror game. So Amanda the Adventurer was definitely an absolutely fun game. I really enjoyed my time playing it. The game itself, unfortunately not really that replayable because it is like an escape room-esque game, and yeah, it isn't really all that replayable. You can't exactly replay it much, which kind of sucks, and that definitely bogs it down, but the experience of it was definitely a lot of fun. And shoot, where would I rank it? I think once again at the top of had fun while playing it. Next up is the classic Five Nights at Freddy's, which I played it on the channel because I was doing a video where I played Five Nights at Freddy's, but I did absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's how the original was featured on the channel. And the funny thing, I didn't even know Astral Spiff's strategy when making that video of like reducing your frame rate to basically just guarantee the odds that you'll win, which I had no clue that that was a thing, but I actually still made it surprisingly far despite not doing that rule. I think the furthest I made was like night 2 at like 4 p.m. or something, and then Foxy got me. So who knows, might try it again on my own time, that challenge. But the game itself is probably gonna rank pretty good. I'm thinking I'm gonna place it at this point at a good game between Among Us and Vrchat, which I feel like is fair. Next up, Five Nights at Freddy's World, which I played this game because I was doing a video where I used 15 free video editors to make one video, which please check out that video. It's more of a tips video on making content, which was definitely off format, which made the decision to do a video like that kind of stupid. But hey, it was fun, and I think you could learn what kind of video editor you should use on that video. But the game itself, it's fun, it's fine. It definitely gets hated way more than it should. Because, yeah, it's just not meant to be the normal Five Nights at Freddy's game. It's just meant to be a Scott Cawthon game, which I'm fine with. But I could understand at the time how it was disappointing. But beyond that, I'm probably just going to rank it at the bottom of had fun while playing it. And next up will be Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin, which, yes, will be separate from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach because, well, it's 6 hours long and it feels like a very different experience from the prior game. So, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin, how would this rank? So, the game Ruin itself versus its actual main game, which is a free roam horror game, this one's a very linear game. which I feel like the transition felt a little off between the games, which I felt was kind of a bummer. But while being a good game, I felt like it was not that good, not that satisfying of an end for FNAF Security Breach. But other than that, I'm probably gonna rank it like here. I feel like that's fair. And now to another Security Breach thing that isn't official. This is the 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach multiplayer on Roblox, which, yes, is a part of my Roblox FNAF Security Breach ripoff series, but this is genuinely like a good game because, well, it pushes Roblox to its absolute limit, which was definitely a shocker, and it also isn't just a copy-paste of Security Breach like most of the games in that series. This game being, well, a multiplayer game, and it's got the multiplayer game mode that you saw all the YouTubers play back then when Security Breach was new. And that's basically just what the game is. And I actually was genuinely surprised when I saw that the visuals were almost as impressive, if not more, than the actual Security Breach game, which was definitely a shocker. But the game itself, beyond those things, is like a 30-minute experience. And because of that, I can't put it above the actual game itself. Probably gonna place it about here. Next up is the Freddy in Space 3 Chica in Space, which is the troll game that Scott made for like the FNAF movie The Game, if you remember. And this game, it's, yeah, once again, like very simple, not really trying to be anything too special, which, yeah, kind of a bummer, but it's still fine. It definitely had its good jokes here and there, and in my videos on it, I didn't really make it that far. Unfortunately, I didn't complete any of the worlds, which stank. But other than that, it was just fine. So I'm probably going to place it at the top of It's Okay, I guess. Now we're on the final 3, and let's go over the final Roblox game, being 5 Nights at Freddy's Forgotten Memories. This, just like the Security Breach, is an unofficial 5 Nights at Freddy's Roblox game, and just like that, it's a lot of fun, and also pushes the limits of the Roblox engine. And in my video where I played the game, I play it with a lot of Discord members, which, if you want to be in one of my videos, you can increase your chance by joining the Discord. And this game was definitely a lot of fun, and more fun if you're playing with friends, and it's an absolute blast, and I'm gonna rank it high. Based on the absolute amount of fun that I've had playing this game, I'm gonna rank it pretty freaking high. I'm gonna put it right here, because this game is just a complete blast. If you have the right people and you're in the right mood, you could have a total blast playing this game. I absolutely recommend it. Now to Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, which is the latest game that I devoted a lot of time to on the channel. Yeah, Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 is the latest release in the franchise of Poppy Playtime, and it's by far, by miles, the best game. Because it's actually scary, a lot happens, and you just have a lot of fun. It's just a fun game, and I absolutely enjoy that. And considering how awesome this game is, I'm gonna put it at the bottom of an incredible game. And now to one that's gonna be a pretty quick review, and it's also the last one because it's the latest game that I played on the channel, Pacific Drive, which I played for like 30 minutes on a live stream. And it definitely looks like it can be a lot of fun, and I've barely gotten through the tutorial. So this rating is probably definitely gonna change, but I'm gonna place it at the top of good game. That is the complete ranking of how I think of every game that I've played on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I know this wasn't the best anniversary special of the channel, but it was what I could do with the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully any future specials I do will be better than this one. So hopefully my rankings were not too hot of picks. Hopefully you agree with some of my picks. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!